Alright guys, I do love to be the guy who spreads some good news, so today I guess we're gonna be doing that, because in this video I'll be fully maxing out the brand new Mangusta helicopter, and a lot of people have been telling me that this vehicle, when it's fully upgraded, it gets even more overpowered than what it was previously with its missiles. I'm currently just finishing my last upgrade, so you know what, for the sake of today's video, let's speed this up and get this thing fully maxed, and its maximum speed that's gonna be able to go up to is going to be 305, and its maximum health is going to be 812. Again, these statistics are not insanely high, but it's all about the fire and forget missiles that this vehicle has, which are its true power. And by the way, I would like to give a huge shout out to Nightbox for all the recent donations and super thanks. It does very much help me out in making a living from doing what I love, which is of course making content for you guys. Gotta say, I'm probably gonna be maining this vehicle now. It is incredibly satisfying. I didn't feel like upgrading any other helicopters here. I was mainly focusing on tanks recently. But yeah, anyway, let's go and find our first opponent. It does happen to be an Mi-28. No, that is a... Is that an Mi-28? No, that's a Mangusta right above my base, and this guy has actually not even seen me, which is crazy. So I'm gonna fire the first missile at him. I would like to go ahead and see if all of these missiles will end up being enough to actually kill this guy, unless he just decides to hover above my base. Okay, now he's just right here, the easiest kill in the world. I'm just gonna fire all of these missiles, and that is everything I needed to go ahead and do in order to kill this guy. Yes, I bet his Mangusta is probably maxed out. I think at least 6 of these missiles ended up hitting, and I already have missiles on me, which is pretty interesting. There might just be a Patriot in the distance or some guy abusing Stinger on the ground. Alright, there we have ourselves an Invictus above this guy's base, just hovering. I don't know what it is with these opponents, but this guy is once again going to be strange, and I already got a lot of good shots on him. Now I can just finish him off on the fire and forgets. Yeah, so one fire and forget happened to actually be enough after that. I think I hit him with 2 and a few shots with my main cannon, and once again another helicopter on the ground. What is it with these people? Hopefully this ends up being enough and these just lock on. Okay, so this is an Mi-28. This guy might end up being a little bit more difficult to actually kill, but that's completely fine, and he just immediately jumps out. Okay, and then he gets downed. Yeah, I think this guy forgot that he does have a parachute, which is pretty interesting, but you know what? Whatever. Oh, there is a guy which just decided to parachute. I am really interested of how good the area damage on these fire and forget missiles actually is. So I'm going ahead and actually trying to check that out. It looks like they are actually pretty good area damage. Like, for example, on the Gripen, I was not able to test that last time. I think they actually made the area damage of this similar to the normal rockets of really any helicopter, which I'm actually pretty glad about that. Alright, there it is, a B-29 bomber. That is way more like it now. That is the biggest question. Will 8 of the fire and forgets end up being enough to go ahead and kill the B-29? Okay, so it happens to not be enough. Let's see how many more shots from the main cannon we're gonna need in order to actually kill that. And I think the guy just ended up jumping out, or I don't know what happened here, but I guess this ended up being enough to go ahead and kill the B-29, which has like at least 2,000 health. Alright, so there we have ourselves a Lavad on the ground right here. That is way more like it. Once again, a pretty decent enemy. I'm just gonna finish him off with my main cannon. That is probably going to be enough. And there was a Dark Star right in the distance, actually chasing this guy. So let me go ahead and find him. Alright, there is the Dark Star, the guy already trying to use missiles on me. That is not a good idea. Actually, he will end up hitting a few. Oh, no, never mind. That is not the Dark Star right here. So it happens to be a Eurofighter, which is just a perfect target right here. Alright, there it is. The Eurofighter is gone. And I know there was once again one more vehicle somewhere in the distance, but I need to go ahead and find it. Oh, already a missile incoming. Okay, so there seems to be a guy on the ground. Alright, so there seems to be once again another vehicle. I would like to go ahead and see if 2 of these missiles will end up being enough. So, okay, so 2 missiles are not enough. But, oh, these fire and forgets ended up chasing another vehicle, which happens to be a Lavad right here. Alright, so I need to go ahead and kill the Lavad, and there it is. The shots actually went after another enemy. Alright, there it is. We have ourselves a Panzer on the bridge. Let's take a look. Will 2 fire and forgets end up being enough? Will 3 end up being enough? Yep. So looks like the sweet spot is probably going to be around 3 fire and forget. So looks like if there's going to be at least like 2 ground vehicles near each other, all of the 8 will end up being enough to go ahead and kill them, which is great, because then you guys get to actually save some missiles after you kill one opponent, so you're not actually in a spot where you have nothing to fight your opponent with. And there is a MiG-29. I think this guy maxed it out because the speed is actually really good. Okay, no, never mind. There is a Panzer once again, so I'm gonna make sure to actually take care of this guy before I fight the MiG, so no one is going to be interrupting our 1v1, and here we are. How is that not enough? Okay, I am so surprised how that ends up not being enough, and the guy isn't even shooting at me. Okay, well, I guess I'll take care of him, and now let's go ahead and actually fight the MiG properly. Alright, and the first missile ended up not hitting, but that's completely fine. I can just throw the rest at him. Alright, there's missile number 2. Oh, it's okay, these missiles, it actually feels like they have dementia at some point, and the guy just immediately jumps out. Alright, there it is, an A10 Warthog right in the distance. Let's go ahead and actually start working on this dude. Alright, let's fire some fire and forgets at this A10 right here, and they actually happen to down him, which is quite interesting. And then we have ourselves a guy which is actually going right next to me, and that is pretty bad, honestly. But I might be able to just take care of him, though I am pretty low, so I might just want to go for an... Never mind, this guy got downed. Okay, everyone happens to just be down, and I have to really get out of here, because I am pretty low on health already. Alright, there it is, an Mi-24 Hind right in the distance. Let's go ahead and actually take this guy down, and the second I start shooting at him, he just immediately jumps out, which is what I love about every single War Tycoon player. I mean, it makes sense, they don't want to die. Alright guys, there we have ourselves an actual rare occurrence, a actual tank who wants to go ahead and do something and actually fight us. So let's fire all of these fire and forget missiles, and it actually happened to be enough to go ahead and kill a KF-51 Panther, which in my opinion is actually pretty damn good. Now let's go ahead and kill this guy who's on the ground. Alright, just a few more shots, and he's using Riot Shield, and unfortunately, buddy, Riot Shield cannot do much against area damage. I think it can reduce the damage by a slight bit, but it's not gonna do super much. Alrighty guys, so we have ourselves an F-35, which is just a perfect target to go ahead and chase. Unfortunately enough, I have to get in a very specific angle if I want to end up being able to actually hit this guy, and he just jumps out the second he gets shredded. As always, oh, never mind, he decides to reset since he cannot be asked to go back to his base. Yeah, that was probably not the right place to go ahead and jump out. Oh, there he is, he wants to go ahead and take off with a helicopter. I do not want to let him do that. I already, like, stole most of his health, now I just need to end up getting really close to him, and then he will not be able to do anything to me, and that happens to be Apache, which is just a perfect target. Let's see if one fire and forget will end up being enough. Oh, the guy actually decided to deploy flares, which is perfectly fine, because then the rest of the fire and forgets will end up chasing him, and then he's dead. Ooh, oh my god, that almost actually ended up hitting me. Alright, there it is, an A that's right next to my base. Let's go ahead and fire all of the missiles at him. That is literally all I'm gonna need. And the guy did not fire smoke fast enough. Maybe if he done it 2 seconds earlier, he would have ended up being alive. Alright, there we have ourselves a perfect target, an F-18 Hornet to get on its tail. And literally, he just jumps out straight away. Once again, another opponent jumping out. Someone seriously has to do a count in the comment section down below on how many people jumped out of the plane or helicopter or anything in this whole entire video. Alright, there it is, an Su-57, once again a perfect target. I got this guy in the spot on where any helicopter could want him, and he is pretty much just gonna be dead in this scenario, unless he goes ahead and jumps out, and oh my god, once again, another person jumps out. What a big surprise. Oh my god. Alright, Mustangs, at least you guys have some honor and do not jump out of your plane when I'm about to kill you. Please. Oh my gosh. It's actually so funny how this happens to every single person. There it is, there is our Mustang player, and I did end up downing him, so it's impossible for him to jump out in any case scenario here. But there is once again another vehicle which is about to take off, and this happens to be an F-22, which is just a perfect target for me, except I need to not let this guy pull out any fancy maneuver on me, because that would be really bad. Alright, I decided I actually got my kill at the end, which is perfect. Alright, this guy is actually pretty laggy, or I don't know, maybe it's just me. But this guy is pretty much dead. Like, he has no chance to go ahead and actually do anything against me. And he did the perfect play. Of course, he jumped out once again. Alright, let's see if all these fire and forget missiles will end up being enough. And it does end up being enough to kill the Mustang once again. I have not seen almost any tank in this whole video. But this whole video has just been about people actually ejecting from their planes. Okay, it is not a good idea for you to go ahead and fire any bullets at me, buddy. I don't know why this guy is just in the middle of the desert and firing bullets at me, but it's definitely not going to be a good idea. Oh, okay, well, you back into your vehicle? Do you want me to leave you alone? Fine, guys, I'll be kind for today's video. Nah, I'm just kidding. I need to get a free kill. Okay, I don't know why I do this, but this guy was firing at me, so he was asking for it. And look who's back, Mr. F-22 Raptor player. Alright, well, I guess it is time to go ahead and take care of this guy. He is a perfect target for me. I don't know why he's going so insanely slow, and oh my god, bro, stop jumping out of the freaking plane. Okay, alright, Mustang player, would you do me a favor and not do that today? Please? Pretty please? Oh, thank God he doesn't. Alright, well, he's at least nice for that. I mean, he doesn't have an ejection button, which I guess is for the good. Alright guys, there we have ourselves a tank. Let's go ahead and use all of the fire and forget missiles and see if he ends up actually deploying smoke. And he does end up deploying smoke, but it was slightly late for him, and he probably doesn't even know where I am. Let's see if the cannon ends up being enough to kill him, and he is so freaking low on health. Bro is immediately in his shield. Alright, bro is really thinking that the smoke will be enough to go ahead and save him. Well, unfortunately, it will not be enough for you because your tank is gone. And let's go ahead and fire some missiles right at where the tank actually was. Oh, the guy's going ahead and hiding. So maybe this missile area damage will end up being enough. And it does end up being enough. Anyway guys, with this I will be ending today's video. If you are wondering, should you go ahead and upgrade this helicopter, it is definitely going to be a 10 out of 10 recommendation from me. My only little problem that this helicopter has is that it's only 800 health fully upgraded, but to be honest, its fire and forget missiles and its main cannon travel speed does make up for that, so I very much recommend to get this helicopter fully maxed. Anyway guys, I'll see you all tomorrow, and let me know in the comment section down below on how many people did end up jumping out of their plane or helicopter in this whole entire video.